Hey guys, Join David here. So, Qualcomm is well aware of the pandemic. Today they announced the Qualcomm Snapdragon 870. It is actually meant for the budget Android flagships. So now Qualcomm actually has a lot of chipset series like the 870, then there is the 888. Now, I don't know how it's gonna go, but it's pretty much confusing right now, right? So Qualcomm and TSMC figure out how to squeeze a little bit more performance out of that 7nm chip, the 865 plus. Now they are calling it 870. Actually, this is a faster version of the 865 plus, which is actually a better version of the 865. The CPU is actually similar to the 865. The difference is in the clock speed. It is 3.2 GHz now, up from the 3.1 GHz on the 865 plus, and somewhere around 2.9 GHz on the 865, the original 865. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 still uses the Cairo 585, which is actually based on the Cortex A77 with some in-house tweaks here and there. Whereas the Snapdragon 888 chipset is based on the Cortex X1 core and Cortex A78 cores combined. There is one big difference here is that this chipset doesn't have 5G modem on board. Instead, the chip will be paired with an external X55 modem. And this X55 modem was something that was used in countless Android devices last year. So the best thing is though, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 supports the sub 6 GHz 5G network as well as the millimeter waves. So Qualcomm is continuing its focus on gaming capabilities too. The Snapdragon 870 incorporates the Qualcomm's Snapdragon Elite gaming arsenal. So it's desktop class level graphics and whatnot, but it's just a better 865 plus in terms of gaming. Now this is coupled with Adreno 650 GPU and it's a comeback, I can say. But it's still not clear whether it got any clock speed boost. We don't know. If not, whether it is running on 865 plus frequency or 865's frequency. We don't have an idea. Actually, the display specs actually is pretty interesting. The display driver can run up to the 1440p class panels at 144 Hz and 4K displays at 60 Hz. That's good. And it also supports the HDR10 plus. The Spectra 480 ISP is also unchanged here, so it supports the 200 megapixel up to sensors, 8K 30 fps video recording, 4K 120 fps, and it also supports the high dynamic range videos using HDR10 plus and Dolby standards. So that's a good spec, man. It's amazing. The rest of the Qualcomm Snapdragon 875G's specs are also identical to the 865 plus. One of the big difference that you will actually see is the Wi-Fi standard. So it actually kind of like a disadvantage, or I don't know, like a step back, whatever you say. The 865 plus offered Wi-Fi 6E standard, but this one will not. So it will only work with the 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz Wi-Fi networks. I don't know why they did it, but they did it in 2021. There is not a direct competition as of now arriving, but I might be wrong because MediaTek might be holding an event today, if I'm not wrong. Or they're gonna launch the Dimensity 1200. Not a lot of specs are known yet when I'm editing the video or doing this stuff. What I heard is that the Dimensity 1200 is gonna be an 865 plus, which means it's gonna be a direct competition to the 870. But that chipset is gonna be a little too different because that is having the 6nm process node rather than 7nm on this 870, and we'll have Cortex A78 cores that I have heard, like 4 Cortex A78 cores. So that's going to be a huge improvement. Now, which smartphones are going to use the 875G? So the first Snapdragon 870 powered smartphone is going to launch later this quarter. So what are the companies that are going to use this chipset in the first place? Xiaomi, Oppo, OnePlus, and Motorola. Anyway, OnePlus says the brand looks forward to delivering fast 5G speed and ultra smooth mobile experience to more users with Qualcomm's new platform. Now, OnePlus hasn't actually revealed which smartphone is gonna get this 870, but I think we have a good idea. The OnePlus 9e was rumored to have a 865 plus. Now, considering the similarities between the 865 plus and 870, who doesn't want 870 over 865 plus, at least in this year? So this OnePlus 9e should be unveiled in March of this year alongside the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro. They are going to be powered by the Snapdragon 888. Now, last month, Lenovo Motorola brand actually committed to bring this 800 mobile platform to more smartphones. But I think it's going to be the recently leaked the Motorola Neo. Now, on the Oppo front, the Oppo Find X3 Neo is going to be the smartphone that will be powered by the Snapdragon 875G. And talking about the Xiaomi brand, well, it's gonna be the Redmi K40. And talking about these kind of chipsets, I have one thing to say, that I'm really excited about the 870 because it is not fully fledged flagship, and this the Snapdragon 888 and all these chipsets actually cost a lot. Smartphone manufacturers are paying actually, but in the end we are paying it. But this is actually a great thing that they're reusing the old platform. The difference between this today's smartphone chipset, the high-end one, and the past years ones are not that much. On the benchmark you will find a big difference, but on day-to-day performance I don't think there is anything that is drastically, like making, oh my god, that's a different chipset and this is a different years of chipset. It feels like that. No, it's not. The thing is though that today's modern chipsets are so powerful that we don't need to upgrade for the sake of chipsets. Unless until you have the money, you want to upgrade, you want to see what's there, it's fine. But if you don't want it, it's fine, you don't have to upgrade. So I always had an idea that why companies don't use the past years platforms to make the affordable flagships. They're always like powered by Snapdragon 7 series chipsets. Nowadays, even though Snapdragon 765 is a good chipset, but still it's lacking here and there a lot. So I always think like this way, why they're not using the 865s? But Qualcomm made the way. Like they're not gonna use the 865 because people will be like, oh, this is a 1-year-old chipset. No, the 870 is the new generation. People will be like, oh my god, this is the recently launched 870, but this is actually the 865 plus. So this is amazing. Like I am really excited for this kind of chipsets rather than the most flagships one, because if you look at the Exynos 2100 or the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888, they are beast. Talking about the Exynos 2100, it is a different story because the Exynos 990 was very weak, but talking about the 865 plus, it was already a beast, and the 888 is not that much improved. Like it is improved a lot, but is it that much that you're gonna be like, oh man, I want the 888 chipset or something like that? It's not like that, right? So that's why I think this is a good move by Qualcomm, and I really actually looking for this platform because this is something really good. Like even Apple should do like this. They should use or reuse this A13 Bionic in more products, even though they do like mostly on iPads, lower end iPads. And so that is what I had to tell you. Yeah, that's about it. So if you guys want to see more episodes like this, please hit the like button, please do subscribe or watch my other videos. Bye and take care.